Welcome back to Tiny T Game, and this is my race to a castle playing Bannerlord as the Khuzaits, and my laptop didn't save the footage for when I actually got hold of my first fief, which was the Locana castle, but doesn't matter because I've got some decent footage of me absolutely killing it with my warband, taking down some of the Imperial forces as they try and recover from the Khuzaits expansion. As you can see, I've mainly got good quality archer cavalry in my warband. No lancers, because I just don't see the point. If you just have like a stack of 100 Khuzait Khan's Guard, you'll do quite well. Or the soldiers are like a tier below, one or two below, you tend to do quite well. And as you can see, the Empire forces I'm fighting, they've got low tier soldiers because they've been losing, getting taken prisoner, and then they're just mass recruiting basically the dross. So as I'm going through, it's quite quick, quite easy, and my casualties are quite low. I do lose some good quality soldiers, which is annoying, but you can't expect to take on 2 or 3 times your own forces numbers and not expect to have casualties, because even on reasonably relaxed settings like I'm playing, there has to be an element of realism. But as you can see, the green stack is just going, and every now and then I do get some casualties, but it is good. So my recommendation, if you want to really have like an easier run through, would be to just always obviously level up your warband quite quickly. But if you're playing as the Khuzaits, just go for that archer cavalry, and then just pay the money to get the good quality horses and upgrade them as soon as possible, and then unlock the perk. That means you can take loot and donate it to the troops for experience. So then if you do have a lot of low tier troops, because you've taken a lot of casualties and you do then get a victory, you can just donate all the loot to the to your warband, to your pie, and then you'll quickly level them up again. Obviously this is quite expensive, and you do lose out on loot then, lose out on selling it in the local towns for money, because it's all gone. But it's that trade-off. I would say ransom enemy soldiers and their lords, and then take their loot as experience. And then if your pie's quite well experienced by then, you can just sell it for coin, and then it's a win-win. But that definitely speeds up your playthrough. Now I did, at this point in the game now, as you're seeing, I've actually got 2 castles. I've got Gaius Castle and Locana Castle. Both come under siege reasonably often because they're in the enemy territory, and as I'm like a new lord within the Khuzaits faction, I get the new castles because obviously all of the clans are already well established. But that means then your fiefs are the first that will be taken back by the enemy forces if you just let them. So you need a good quality garrison if you can. It is expensive though, so then managing the money and then running your party well is quite hard. So I'd say you do have to juggle it quite well. I'd say recruit as the best quality you can and have a smaller garrison, and then if you've only got a couple, 1 or 2 fiefs and they're close together like mine have been, which is fortunate, just be prepared to rush to their aid. So don't just go far and wide if you're at war and your fiefs are literally in the middle of enemy territory, because they're just going to constantly come under siege. And even though this is still like quite really early game, the Empire forces were still managing to muster like 1,000 strong stack for besieging my settlement, and the only reason I'm able to repel the siege is because I have really good quality troops. So break in, if you can't assault the siege camp directly, break in. Even though you do lose troops, it's always a good quality troops you lose, which is really frustrating. And then defend it yourself in person as well, because the AI always runs better on this game when you are present instead of auto-resolving it, which is really frustrating because you have like a really good stack and be fighting an absolute group of peasants and nothing else, because the enemy on the back foot and they're just mass recruiting like the AI does, and then next thing you know you lose because you auto-resolved it, which is really frustrating, but whatever. So I'd say always fight your own battles until you have a huge stack, but even then your casualties will always be higher if you don't fight it out yourself. So it's that trade-off of like ease of time. Obviously all these games that I play do take a lot of hours, real life hours, and when you need to be that committed, you end up having to juggle your time, and it's always a trade-off, isn't it? But it is good. As you can see, my archery level on this is really low, and my bow is actually rubbish, but it's more just messing around at this point because I've achieved what I wanted to get set out. I got my feast really quickly. Literally just signed on as a lord. I was given the offer of becoming a vassal of Monchug in the Khuzaits. I did that, and then they literally besieged Lacana, and I wasn't even part of the siege, and they gave it to me because I'd been out raiding but fighting the lords of I think it was the Northern Empire in pitched battles, and then just taking loads of prisoners. So that just boosted my reputation massively, and I got hold of that first fief, and then they took Chaos Castle without me even being present again, and it suddenly was mine as well. So that was really easy. And then, as you can see, I keep taking loads of prisoners, taking their lords prisoners, just ransoming them. And once you do get your party to be about 100 strong, and then like 80-90% nearly top tier troops, you will still take casualties, and over time, if you keep throwing them into the fight, you'll just get whittled down, and then you replace them with dross again, and it's really frustrating. But if you do have a good party size of like minimum of 100, you can go into a lot of fights knowing that you can get away with it. Obviously not against like a stack of 500 plus, but if you do have the Khuzaits cavalry archers or archer cavalry, you'll be fortunate. Even if you do take bad casualties, like a big battle of attrition, you should still walk away as the winner, which is what matters. I mean, you want to preserve your troops as best you can, but I would say this faction really allows for quick progression, and they do steamroll in a lot of playthroughs if you just let it run. I think quite a few YouTubers have shown that if you just let the game run, a lot of times it is the Khuzaits, and it's just because their archer cavalry might not be the best troops, but they're very versatile and they're quite good on foot as well. Their only downside is they don't have shields, so it is that trade-off, because then they're going to be fighting without that protection. So if they're static and they're getting missiles coming, like all infantry archers, they're just going to end up taking casualties eventually. But their armor's good, and when they're mobile on horseback, they're really good. And then you can always have them just harass and whittle down the enemy forces, and then eventually just send them into finish with a good charge. And they do make quick work. Like, as you can see now, it's pretty much man for man. I think they outnumber me by just 3 men. I had to replace 3 of my good quality cavalry with just 3 of their peasants, but that was fine because the core of my pie is just a good quality cavalry archers. I don't know which way is the right way of saying that, but it doesn't matter. And then fighting the Empire forces, it doesn't really matter which of the 3 Empire factions, because the troop tiers are all the same. As soon as they start getting put on the back foot and losing their elite units that they start off with, it takes them, like all factions in this game, it takes them a minute to level up. and if you keep them on the back foot, they don't get that chance. So then you end up just fighting these peasant armies, which they are quite fun to fight because it doesn't offer a huge challenge, and you know you should just come away with that easy win, even if you do take some casualties, or in some cases a lot of casualties. I mean, they do have a good amount of archers here, and if my cavalry weren't as mobile, they would just be a really good target. So as you can see, I am taking some casualties there, which was annoying, but yeah, it's good. And as your forces close the distance, they will naturally try and put distance between yourselves and them. So then, if you just keep that distance close, they'll constantly try and move back and withdraw, and then they're not firing at your men, so then you can go in, and as you can see there, I'm just hacking away. I'm not getting like loads of kills because still I don't have the best kit or the best stats, but injuring, got one for there, but injuring a lot of them and then getting a few kills as well. So the more you're keeping them pushed back, the less their archers on foot will harass your forces or kill them. So then it just turns into an absolute mob when you end up just tearing them down, and then you whittle them away really quickly, and then your forces will just close in. And I haven't even got to the point where my party's run out of arrows yet, because every battle they've fought, they've managed to wipe out the enemy combatants quite quickly. Didn't take too many casualties either. I mean, still walking away with 95 men after that is really good. But just a quick little bit of leveling up, always trying to keep on top of it, even if you are reasonably low on cash. I mean, 24 grand on this game isn't a lot, but the benefit of having your own fiefs is you can just go into the garrison and swap out low tier troops for any higher tier troops you've got. So I just thought auto resolve it, because it was just should be reasonably quick. I took more casualties though because I did auto resolve it, which was really annoying, but I still had that core of good quality troops left. Now I did have to play around with the prisons I had, because I'd always recommend keeping hold of the higher level prisoners, unless you're wanting to recruit some, then go for the lowest levels first, because they are more easily swayed to being recruited by you. But for the simple value of ransom, higher tier troops every time, and then obviously the lords as well, and the nobles, easy way of just getting a few grand here and there. And then I went from having 24 grand, got 50, pretty much 50k overnight from 2 battles. And then it's just about recruiting and getting horses again, because you constantly need loads of horses, which is expensive, but you're still a net win, or net up, if that's the right phrase. But it is good. And then I just went through more horses, more men, more upgrades, and it's just keeping on top of that, because you need to just keep in mind that if you are taking 20, 30, 40, 50% casualties from some battles and their actual fatalities, then they're going to be replaced by lower tier troops, especially in the earlier stage where you might not have as good a reputation or relationship with some nobles or village elders. So you just need to keep on top of it, recruit what you can, and then upgrade them as soon as possible. But if you've been liking these little videos, please like and subscribe, and let me know what you think, because I can only make the channel better with feedback. And let me know what you want to see me play, because I am looking at certain games. Like, I was thinking of Sengoku Dynasty, but I'm really not sure about that. Some reviews said it was unplayable, but that was upon release, so hopefully now that has been improved, because the actual trailer did look good. And I have given Medieval Dynasty a go, but I need to get into that game a bit more, I think. But for the last little bit of this episode, I just wanted to quickly show off how efficient the archers are in just manning the defense, because I don't really have any actual infantry, so like real melee infantry, but I do have a lot of high tier archer cavalry, and obviously they're dismounted now, being that they're defending the castle. But because they're good quality, they're manning the castle defense as well, and they just end up hammering the enemy really well, and they end up destroying the battering ram so quickly, which makes the enemy forces retreat. I don't know why he was stuck in there, but really weird. But they make the enemy forces retreat, and then they end up losing because of that, capitulating. And take like 200 prisoners. So I'd definitely recommend just invest in archers on this game. Archers and good cavalry, and you cannot go wrong. But yeah, please like and subscribe. Let me know what you want me to play next, and I will absolutely be uploading more videos shortly.